next topic at hand, your favorite fighter, Danny Garcia.
Don't go there.
He said he sees something in Errol Spence. So he stated on an interview that he thought that Errol Spence was too stationary. That's what we talked about earlier. And he could capitalize on that. Now, what's your thoughts on him getting inside the ring? Because we watching the fight, we thought it was already a setup, like it's already made. Nah, it was actually like the lady that was interviewing them, she made it seem like that, but it wasn't. Like the fight is not signed. I think that she was just trying to say, okay, just guarantee your next fight. I don't know why she did all that. She has great interviews on her channel stuff, but the only problem, like, even the press conference, they talking trash and she gonna stop it and talking about, y'all acting like my 3-year-olds. Like, nah, like, you don't do that. Like, these grown fighters, they hyping up the fight. That's what the fans want to see. Let him talk shit. And then, you know, she say, like, Errol Spence, you could tell he wanted to call out Manny Pacquiao, and then she made it seem like, oh, this fight already signed. Errol Spence got thrown off. He like, what the hell going on? Yeah. And that's when he stated, tables have turned. Now, tables did turn. Errol Spence, the man of the division, the money man of the division. So, what you think about Danny Garcia stepping in the ring? What does he see that we don't see? I mean,
well, one, he took some punishment in that fight, so that's always, you know, you as one of my friends, Vernon would say, is that you always leave a little bit of yourself in the ring particularly after a hard fight, and so these are the things that I think that Danny sees in there. One is that he said that Errol was there to be hit. Is that Errol is very good technically, but he's also not. He doesn't have these kind of quick twitch reflexes that you see with some of the other boxers, particularly like a Terence Crawford. His feet are not terrible, but they are a little bit slow. And this is the biggest thing that I've noticed from a lot of Errol Spence's fights, is that when you throw combinations at him, he keeps his guard up and he keeps his hands at home, meaning that he doesn't punch with you during those times right now. So like if you're throwing a combination with him, he'll be very responsible defensively, but he doesn't necessarily throw back. So if you know, like, Sean could like get off about 3 or 4 punches necessarily, and then he'll just kind of keep his guard up in that sense. So
he's looking to catch and shoot.
Yeah, I don't see him do that much. So there was another fight that I remembered. I was like, well, that's like a little bit of a, if you want to be picky, like, that's a little bit of a flaw. Okay, it was against Lamont Peterson. So I remember, so he thrashed Lamont Peterson, but I remember that if you throw punches at him and if you throw them in succession, that he keeps his guard up. And if you're fast enough to get out, then you could do that without taking too much punishment. So that's what I think. It's another thing for Danny to be able to capitalize on that. But those are the things that I think Danny.
You're gonna need to bring a Floyd Mayweather out of retirement for that. You know, for somebody to do something like that. Danny's slow on his feet. He's not the athletic. Like, if you're talking about somebody being slow on their feet, Danny's slow on his feet. Now, who you have winning?
I'm not the biggest Danny Garcia fan. I mean, I give him credit. I think that a lot of people
don't try not to claim him now.
I've never claimed Danny Garcia. I think you're getting that mixed up with Mikey, but with Danny Garcia, I think that this guy's accomplished a lot, and I don't know. I think his probably best win is Matisse.
Matisse was a good win. Amir Khan and Matisse, but I say Matisse was hyped up at the time.
Yeah,
so, I mean, that was a good
Matisse.
win. Yeah.
But if you look at that, my point being is that that's not that, I think he's still looking for that kind of signature win. A lot of people will say Amir Khan, because at that time, you got to remember, like, Amir Khan was running through that division, and he was heavily favored to win that fight. He was actually taking it to Danny Garcia, but his glass chin failed him once again during that fight. I have Errol winning that fight. I think that Danny will have some good moments in there.
No stoppages?
I don't see any stoppages.
See, all right. So how I see that fight, like I said, tables did turn. Danny was one of the main guys that never wanted to give Errol no credit, and he was one of the guys that was avoiding him. He had no plans of fighting Errol next. He saw Errol look, like you said, it's good news and bad news that Errol Spence looked bad in his last fight because fighters could capitalize on it, but it gives them cojones to get in the ring with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Danny, quick. I mean, who would have thought Danny would step in the ring to call out Errol Spence? But because he saw something, like I said. But I believe that's a false sense because Sean Porter is not Danny. Like, they two completely different styles. And the fact that Danny is, he's basic with his style, but he's effective. He's good at it, right? He got good timing, you know. But at the end of the day, Danny Garcia has a good left hook, but Errol Spence is not going to be stationary and there to be hit like he fought Sean Porter. He might fight Danny Garcia the way he fought Mikey Garcia, just to prove, hey, I fought Sean Porter just to show I'm more of a dog than him, and I was trying to knock him out. But this fight, I'm a boxing show. I could outbox him, and he will still do damage because obviously he's still going to go to the body and box effectively. So I think for this fight in particular, Errol Spence is going to use his reach, his IQ. He knows Danny Garcia is way harder puncher than Sean Porter. Sean Porter could hit you with a clean punch, but he's more of physically impulsive, but it's not his power that shocks you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like he's just being there the whole time, and he's a big cat. He moved down from 168, beat the likes of Daniel Jacobs in the amateurs, I believe, and fought Usyk, I believe, at 168 or 165. So he's a big fella, but he don't have power, right? So Danny Garcia brings power to the table, but he's more basic and he's not awkward. So you're able to train for him. Can you get a sparring partner for Sean Porter? Not really. But Danny Garcia is kind of like a lot of people that they could copy his style. And obviously you're not a Danny Garcia. You don't have his timing, but still it's more of a basic style than a Sean Porter. So I believe in that fight, I could see it established. Maybe to the body, not to the head, because Danny Garcia got one of the best chins in the game when it comes. As far as his chin, man, the man get cracked and keep walking forward. Even Matisse caught him right on the chin, and he took it like a champion. So
you think he didn't even drop Mikey? He was pounding Mikey to the body.
Yeah. I mean, at this level, it's harder to keep up the man down model. How about man up? He need to switch that shit to man up and fight me, and that's what they doing. Yeah. But as far as man down, he might well switch it to man up because all these fighters are stepping up to the plate. Now, speaking of fighters that are stepping up to the plate, since the Danny Garcia fight is not official, Manny Pacquiao is still a possible fight. And keep in mind, when Manny peeped that Keith Thurman didn't look too well against Lopez, he took that fight right away.
Yeah.
Like Manny Pacquiao stated prior to the fight, if Porter wins, I will fight Porter. If Errol Spence wins, like he ain't giving an answer, right? So after Errol Spence winning and how he won, do you see Manny Pacquiao wanting to fight him? And if so, or if not, how do you see that fight planning out? Do you even see Manny Pacquiao giving Errol Spence problem after what you saw last night? Your take on it?
I think that, Manny's a little long in the tooth, but I think that because what I stated earlier, I think that because Manny still does throw rapid-fire combinations, that he'll have some good moments.
And he has the better hand speed, too.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't really think of any matchup where Manny Pacquiao wouldn't have the better hand speed. Like Adrian Broner was close.
Yeah, but Adrian Broner is fast as far as single punches, but combinations, Manny top him.
He's more of a one shot. But I still don't see that fight happening. I think that. Why not? So we'll look at these pay-per-view numbers. I think that Manny Pacquiao has at this point in his career, and deservedly so, he's able to not only make a fighting decision that is going to enhance his legacy, but he's also has earned the right to make a business decision.
a smart decision. I don't call it business because business will be to fight Errol because that fight is bigger than a Mikey fight. If you're being honest.
I still don't agree with that.
What you mean? So you telling me if Manny Pacquiao fights Errol Spence, they won't do more numbers than Manny Pacquiao fighting Mikey Garcia?
Well,
after Errol Spence becoming the unified champion and beating Sean Porter on pay-per-view and Mikey on pay-per-view, and he literally beat up Mikey the whole night. That was the ass whooping of the year. Yeah. Then fought Sean Porter in the fight of the year. You think Mikey gonna top Errol, man? I mean,
so the most enthusiastic fans out there are Mexican fans and Mexican American fans, and they're gonna support their guy.
His ass whoop. It don't matter what kind of fans you got.
They're gonna support their guy.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, who pay-per-view wise, Errol Spence, his fans gonna support him. Manny Pacquiao got Mexican fans. They gonna watch the fight. Manny Pacquiao got Filipino fans. They're going to still watch the fight against Errol Spence. That fight is a mega fight. That fight is like Errol Spence, Oscar De La Hoya. So answer the question. What fight will do more pay-per-view?
I've said it. I've said it. I think that I still think that
Mikey Garcia.
I still think that Mikey Garcia. I'm sorry. So I think that for the boxing diehards, they're going to say that, of course, he needs to fight Errol Spence. You know, that's to determine who's the best 147, notwithstanding Terence Crawford, of course. But when it comes to numbers, I don't. So it's just like comparing when a Floyd Mayweather fights a Juan Manuel Marquez or Floyd Mayweather fights a Zab Judah. Right, so
yeah,
it's
but
just
that's not a fair comparison.
Why
because
not?
You're talking about Pretty Boy Floyd before he became pay-per-view star, and you're talking about Money May.
Like, that's not true. So
when
he was Pretty Boy, when he was Pretty Boy,
a pay-per-view star then
he did over 1 million buys with Ricky Hatton.
When he was what?
When he was Pretty Boy.
He fought
then.
Ricky Hatton after he beat Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not Pretty Boy stage no more. That's after he beat Oscar De La Hoya. Like I said, Oscar De La Hoya made him the pay-per-view star. Bring up another name after Floyd became Money May. Like she gave Shane Mosley.
Andre Berto. What those numbers do?
His career, bro. You can't compare Andre Berto and Marquez.
He had did at least 1 million buys at least, but then he fought another black fighter.
How about Shane Mosley and Marquez? Floyd Mayweather did, I believe, 1.2 or 1.3 versus Marquez. I guess Shane Mosley did, I believe, 1.4. Or they was around the same numbers.
They were about the same.
That's what I'm saying. So it ain't because of the Mexican fans, none of that. Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia in front of his own Mexican fans, doing it in Mexican style way and American way. So what happens, all his fans gonna be Errol Spence fans. And I promise you, let me tell you something. I promise you that Sean Porter versus Errol Spence fight will be as much as Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. Now, who you give that credit to? Do you give that credit to Sean Porter, who can't sell his family dinner? Who you give that credit to?
Well, no, let's see those numbers come out. Like I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
My question is, who is the biggest star, Sean Porter or Errol Spence?
Who's the biggest star?
Errol Spence and Sean Porter.
They're really on the same par. Like neither one of them are really pay-per-view stars. They're not
Errol
bankable.
Spence, Sean Porter fought Keith Thurman on regular TV. Sean Porter fought Danny Garcia on regular TV. Sean Porter fought Kell Brook on regular TV. But Errol Spence, as soon as he fought Errol Spence, is pay-per-view. Errol Spence, as soon as he fought Mikey, is pay-per-view. Because Errol is a pay-per-view attraction because he got the cowboy engines behind him. Like I said, a lot of people.
Let's see what these, because I heard that these numbers weren't. I heard that the numbers weren't gonna.
You told me that fight night. How can you know that fight night?
Because they have ways to kind of track the buys. I mean, these are pre-orders, of course, but they have ways to kind of gauge what they feel that the numbers will be.
Let's not talk about the unknown. Let's talk about the known, and that's Errol Spence selling 15,000 tickets against Ocampo. The same he fought in his hometown, right? Mm-hmm. Against the nobody, right? Mm-hmm. How much did he sell? 15K, right?
Was that on pay-per-view?
No, I'm talking about tickets.
Yeah, but I'm saying that wasn't a pay-per-view fight.
Ocampo, man, that was his mandatory. Ain't nobody knew
if
that
you're
kid.
A pay-per-view
but
star.
I'm saying that was before he fought Mikey. So
you saying that? So you acknowledge that him fighting Mikey made him
pay-per-view fight. I mean, a pound for pound fighter. Errol Spence is a pound for pound fighter. When you get 2 pound for pound fighters clashing, people, that's a pay-per-view fight. Not saying I believe Errol Spence was the bigger of the two when they did fight. Like as far as star power.
As far as Mikey Garcia?
Mikey stated himself, I'm fighting Errol Spence because Errol Spence is the biggest star. Let's stick to the point. Let's stick to the point. Errol Spence fought Ocampo, sold 15,000 tickets, right? Then Sean Porter fought Ugas. How many tickets did he sell? And he fought in his hometown. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not an attraction. He has to fight a big name in order to grab attraction. So let's not take away credit from Errol Spence not being a star. That's like saying Sugar Ray Leonard was never a star. Like, you can
Sugar Ray, what?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's not even a comparison. Okay, you're talking about Sugar Ray Leonard, who was in commercials, who was an Olympic gold medalist, who was all of that. Like,
okay, exactly. You talking about Errol Spence? You talking about Errol Spence? Hold on.
Answer this question. No, hold on. Let me answer this question.
Let me say this. Let me just say this before I forget it, because I feel like I'm forget this. So Errol Spence, they would show him and show his fight during cowboy commercials. You know how many people tuning in? Like 18 million tuning in, seeing Errol Spence's face. So he's getting promoted. Like I'm saying, he the man. Like, people sleeping on him. He fought in front of 47,000 people. I think his fans.
I think Errol Spence can go and walk downtown. We're in North Carolina right now.
He can't even walk.
He'll walk downtown and won't get approached by anybody, really.
Oh, I promise you, Mikey Garcia, they're going to think he a construction worker. They ain't want to know who he is. If
okay.
Talking about
you said that. You got a chance. So let me ask you this question. All right. So when he fought Mikey Garcia, that was at where?
What?
When he fought Mikey Garcia.
Cowboy Stadium.
Right. Okay. And that's considered whose hometown?
Errol Spence hometown.
All right. Who was the majority of the people there cheering for?
Errol Spence.
That's not true. That the crowd, the majority of the crowd was there for Mikey Garcia. Right, know that.
Let's be honest here. Can I answer this? I'm gonna answer this question. No, I'm gonna be real with you. Look,
okay.
I'm gonna be real with you. So let's say Prince Nassim Hamed fight Floyd Mayweather, right? I love the hell out of Floyd. Let's say I'm a supporter of his, right? And we all know Floyd. As soon as he fight Prince Nassim Hamed and he goes to the arena, right? Let's say there's all these Arabic fans that's watching the fight, and they like Floyd. They cheer for Floyd every fight. I promise you, when he fight Nassim Hamed, I don't care if they believe he gonna win or not. They're gonna cheer the hell for him. Why? Because he represent this right here, right? So I'm saying the Mexican fans. I'm trying to Texas understand that. That's what I'm saying. Texas is full of Mexicans, right?
Yeah.
It's full of Hispanic people.
And Dallas is full of what else?
What?
Black people.
Exactly. So they cheering for Errol Spence as the Mexicans are cheering for Errol as the Mexican cheer for Mikey Garcia. It ain't no hard feeling. They just cheering for their own countrymen. They want to support their own. They like Errol, but they ain't about to cheer for Errol while he fighting Mikey. He whipping the shit out of Mikey. Them like, man, this dude going Mexican style.
Where was the black fans at? Where was the black fans?
They was cheering too. That's what I'm saying. So just because his Mikey fans, like probably some Mexican fans didn't even know his ass. But they were like, oh, he Mexican? Oh, I'm cheering for him. I promise you, they will cheer for Mikey even if they don't know him just because he Mexican. They not about to go against their own. And there's nothing wrong with that. But people take it out of content and be like, oh, that's because it's all Mikey fan. Let me see Mikey fight somebody other than Manny Pacquiao, and let me see what kind of numbers he going to do. Because he fought Broner, and he fought
what about
Robert Easter. And you know how many numbers they did on Showtime? Like 950,000 against Broner. That's the peak. And some lower number than that against Robert Easter. So let's not overhype because Mikey got in there with Errol Spence. Let's see what he do after, because I promise you, Errol next fight is gonna be on pay-per-view.
It will be. He's gonna be on pay-per-view throughout.
But I promise you, Mikey Garcia next fight won't be on pay-per-view. I promise you.
If he fight Manny Pacquiao?
Nah, not Manny. I'm saying other than Manny, he won't be on pay-per-view. I promise you, Sean Porter next fight won't be on pay-per-view. So let's give credit to Errol Spence. Like, let's not take all people loved him because he was the boogeyman. Strat season, smoke season, all that. That's why they got attached to him. So let's not take that away from him just because, Sean Porter gave him a good fight. Like, let's not take a credit. And I stated that
Sean Porter before the fight.
You said Sean Porter and Errol. Like, come on now.
The thing
Errol way
is
popular than. That's why Sean Porter is fighting Errol Spence, is because he the star he is today.
I wasn't sure. The thing is that Sean Porter he's one of the hosts on the like PBC.
They
Fox
gave
show.
Errol Spence that job. He turned it down, and then
I don't know about that.
They did. I'm telling you facts.
Errol's not.
They gave Errol Spence a job, and Errol Spence turned it down before Sean Porter. He just said he didn't want to be on TV. He don't want to be a host. He want to whip these fighters' ass. He's about to interview.
Well, what I was gonna say is that he's fought every named fighter in the welterweight division. That's why when I was trying to gauge their popularity. But if you keep doing that and they keep seeing you and you hosting, that means that your popularity is going to rise.
Though. Like you lost a couple of them. Errol Spence haven't lost yet, but I'm not saying this due to the loss, but I'm saying Errol Spence still have his motto man down. He still got he put Sean Porter down regardless. And I promise you, Sean Porter pissing blood today. So